found a niche, didn't you, to start with?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's a niche. Wine is a niche. Online was
It is a
smaller,
crowded market,
subset
though, isn't
of
it?
that.
It is online wine is a crowded market,
It
but
wasn't then.
okay.
It's become, but then it was weird. Look, wine is about Woolworths and Coles and a few little guys. You know what I mean? And so it was one of those. We didn't come up with this. It was a good business model. We didn't come up with it because it was so awesome. We came up with it because we had no capital, and we thought, well, we need something that we can pay for the stock after we've sold it. So we can't afford a warehouse, and we can't afford to buy stock and hold stock, and we can't afford, we need to be able to. The model was constructed on the constraints that we had, and as it turns out, it was a good model because it was cash flow positive and allowed us to bootstrap our own growth and all those sorts of things. But I'd like to say we were so astute, but we fucking knew nothing about business and nothing about retail when we started.
How did you start a business without capital? Because probably everybody in this room is thinking that is where they are now.
Yeah, I'll probably put some. Look, we had prior to that received. Like we had an angel investor who gave us 200 grand to lose, which we were burning through at a rapid rate, and we'd pretty much just about burnt through that with our awesome wine community that had no revenue stream. So we were on the edge there. When we started Vinomofo, we went, all right, we'll bring in a partner, Lee Morgan. He came in with 50 grand. And that was sort of to go, all right, pay yourself until we get profitable. So we sort of thought, this is a test. We didn't know it would work. We went, this is what we've got to burn through with this. If it doesn't work, it's his money, and we've tried it, and we'll keep going with what we're doing, and if it does work, then okay. And really within 3 months, which is about all we had with that capital, within 3 months we'd seen it worked, we chucked everything into it. Ideally, I think every startup should have a partner. It should be a hacker and a hustler. But it's you and this other guy, what do you need to pay yourself? Look, if you've got kids and a family and that's 100 grand each, so it is. Better than that, you're 23 and you can live off 30, 40 grand. What's your business model to get to break even, to be able to pay the minimum operating expenses that you need to really leanly operate? That's a model I think everyone needs to identify, because quite often it's like 50 grand or 20 grand, or maybe it's that time to transition from your job or your part-time job to that, and it's a salary sacrifice or a time sacrifice, and maybe it is for a while. You're working 80, 90 hours a week. You've got to become good at everything that you do, and you've got to own the engagement or the transaction. And if you don't or you can't and you need a partner, you have to choose that so well. And there has to be such a synergy in what you stand for and in your culture and in the customer experience you want to deliver. And that's what we haven't done well. And we see it, we suffer from it. So I'm in the middle of fixing that. It's big, it's not hard, it's not easy. There's delivering wine across the country is like a nightmare. So we're back in this era of the customer and of true marketing. And when companies are forced to, or hopefully choosing to be customer focused, and social media platforms are wonderful tools to do this, and necessary tools to do this. You need to have relationships with your customers because they want it. And that's why social media is important, and particularly as a startup, you've got an audience. We started our business by who's talking about wine. Let's go and join the conversations. And then this is, by the way, this is what we do. Don't have to hide that you're there to offer something, but hopefully you offer something first, and then people might pay attention to you. The point is that's what we've got going for us, is the ability to not everything comes undone with a failure. We've got the agility to go. The idea of failing forward is a physicalisation of, you launch fast and you learn you get out to your customers and you learn as much from your customers as from your experiences. It's not to say no planning. It's just to say don't let fear and meticulous, you don't need 100% full. There is no 100% foolproof. If you do a business plan for a startup, you're never going to be profitable, and no one's going to go, yeah, that looks like a cracking model. You should go for it because you don't have the capital, and it requires a leap of faith. So failing forwards is about, be smart about what you need to figure out, but then go fast, make it happen, get to market, get feedback from your customers, do things. If it's not working, change, pivot, and you sort of tumble here and there, and that's failing forwards. And not being afraid of that, and a good startup community, which I have real high hopes that Adelaide is becoming. And I see the beginnings of it, and like to do whatever we can, and people I know to help that. And this is cool that this is happening for that. But the idea is it's a safe environment. People respect having to go more, and people don't. You're not judged from failures. Ask Jesus. I personally have failed, for 18 years of being an entrepreneur. It's nice to be invited here to talk, but really, what have I got? 3 years of, one business out of about 5, and I certainly wouldn't have been invited had I not failed forward to Vinomofo.